I am walking a red carpet in front of all of the press, basically in the whole of London, along with Ariana Grande, and my bum cheeks are going to be in the wind on display. Hello everybody and welcome back to my podcast, Esme's Country Life. In today's episode, I'm going to be telling you about the behind the scenes and the chaos at the Wicked premiere in London, as well as what else I've been up to this week. But before we begin, I just want to say a huge thank you to the sponsor of the podcast, Redpost. Redpost is an equestrian and country store based in the UK, but they also ship all over the world. And I've been saying this the last couple of podcasts, but this is really your dead time. This really is your deadline. Anyway, next week it is Black Friday, and if you want to get those sweet deals before other people, you need to download the Redpost app. Get them on the Thursday. Also, if you're a Stride member, you get even earlier access, because once those deals are gone, they are gone. This is your time to get all of your friends and family's Christmas presents, get it sorted, so when December rolls around, you're not stressed trying to find things, you're not stressed being like, oh my gosh, what am I going to get? Because Redpost Black Friday sale, it is always so good. But anyway, thank you again to Redpost for sponsoring the podcast, and let's get into today's episode, because oh my goodness, I have a lot to talk about. So I was very kindly invited to the Wicked premiere, so thank you so much to Wicked and Universal and Meta/Instagram for very kindly inviting me. I had a fantastic time, and it's one of those things where when I get opportunities like this, it's still very much a pinch me moment, and I'm like, they've invited me? Like, I'm just some horse girl, like, why am I here? Anyway, so I still very much appreciate getting invited to things like this, and it's one of those things where I know it's not going to last forever, so I'm just taking it in and just appreciating every moment. But anyway, let's begin how it all started. So when I got the message, I was like, oh my goodness, are you kidding me? This is like it might be the biggest premiere of the year. It's definitely one of the biggest ones. It is up there, because when I tell you, like, the weeks running up to it, the days running up to it, because it wasn't just one. They've been doing like a full world tour. Like, they were in Australia, and then they were in LA, and then they were in New York, and then obviously, being British, I was at the European one, which is the final one, so that was very cool. That was obviously in London. So the whole time I was like stressing, because when you get invited to things like this, you don't often get told like a lot of time beforehand. It's honestly normally like a couple of weeks before. They're like, okay, here you go, you have been selected. So trying to find an outfit with little time as a girl, it's a stressful situation, especially when there's a dress code as well. So the dress code was pink goes well with green. So basically you had to wear pink or green. There were some people that didn't take it as seriously. Like, they just wore like something like a black dress with maybe some green jewelry or that kind of thing. But I'd say UK leg of the tour, we pulled it out the bag. Most people, like, they had like a little party beforehand, and everyone looked incredible. Like, anyway, before we get to that, one thing that I will say, if you ever need fashion advice, ask my dad. Like, he's laughing at this now because he's like, girl, what do you mean? But like, if I ask my friends, oh, does this look good? Most of the time they're gonna be like, oh yeah, Slay, you look so cute. My dad is brutally honest. If something does not look good, he will tell me. Like, today we were doing some filming this morning. We were filming like a little Christmas ad, and I thought, oh, I'll like put my hair in like a little cute little, I'll just like do a little updo, that'll be cute. He was like, Esme, no, not main character enough. No, you need to have big hair. Like, that's what he says. He says, you need the big hair. Like, my hair has dropped a little bit since this morning because I did it very rushed. I was like, okay, I'll do big hair. Got my little air wrap out. Tried to make it look a little bit bouncy, but it has dropped now. But it's from advice about hair from a bald man. Like, he's laughing again now. It's tricky because he doesn't understand the time and dedication that goes into, you know, like curling your hair, styling your hair, what day hair wash day is. Like, it's a lot, especially when you ride horses as well. So today he was like, oh, should we do like the riding the horses content first and then like the hair, like then the Christmas ad in the afternoon? I was like, no. especially as it was raining this morning, I was like, no, we're doing the inside. My hair's all nice because the premiere was yesterday, so I have cleanish hair. I was like, no, we were doing the filming first. Anyway, so when it came to finding my dress for the premiere, so I knew that for the red carpet, I wanted to do the look with Fairfax and Favour, so they very kindly gave me my heels, my coat, my little clutch bag. So it was just finding a dress to go with it. So anyway, I was scouring the internet, looking around. I was like, oh, this one's cute. And all my friends were like, oh yeah, I really like that one. Showed them to my dad. He was like, no, don't like it. No, it's not main. His like phrase is, it's not main character enough. Like, that is his phrase. He's like, girl, you need to be, because to be fair, he was trill on that one, because when you go to like influencer content creator events, everybody else, you best believe they are going to be out there. They are going to the max. They are basically, everyone's competing to be the most out there. Like, that's the only way that I can describe it. So we were looking around, that kind of thing. Anyway, found a dress in the end. I'll describe it to you. It is like a baby pink, because I was thinking, do I go pink? Do I go green? And honestly, I thought more people were going to go green than pink, because I think you have to be like, you have like a certain like, pink is difficult for some people to pull off. So I thought, you know what, pink actually does suit me. So I'm going to go pink. I wanted to have my Princess Glinda, fairy witch, whatever she is moment. I do love pink. It's one of, I mean, pink and green actually are my two favorite colors. I mean, look at the branding of the podcast and my channel. So anyway, I do just like pastel colors in general. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to go pink with the blonde hair. It's cute. It's a moment. And also I thought a lot of, not necessarily, but I just thought more people would go green. I feel like there's a lot more different shades of green. It's a bit of a safer colour. I feel like green suits most people. But no, it was actually, I would say, a really good 50-50 split mix between people going for green or people going for pink. So anyway, found the dress, pink. It's kind of like bodycon tight. It's a midi dress, so it's kind of just went below my knee, I want to say. And then the top was, my dad was describing it to my friend and he was like, oh yeah, it's like a shell. And she was like a shell? I would say it's more like a flower, like petals at the front. Like the front was very like fluffy, wavy, kind of ruffly. That's the word. Ruffly is the word. So I love high neck tops or dresses. I just find they suit me better. I prefer to have my legs out or my arms out and have my chest covered. But everyone is different. That's just how I feel most confident. And I'm like, if you are going on a red carpet with all of these gorgeous, gorgeous people, then I tell you what, you need to be wearing something that you feel comfortable and confident in. I do actually have a story about this dress that I haven't told my dad about. So I'm gonna be able to see his live reaction, because I almost had an oopsie with this dress. Now this dress is a tight dress. Like I must admit, I thought it had a little bit more stretch than it actually did. So the dress had like a little slit at the back, and I might have accidentally made the slit at the back a little bit bigger. Okay, basically I ripped my dress. It was okay though, because nobody noticed, nobody knew. I kept it a secret. I knew that if I told my dad, he would have freaked out, because things like this, he does get a little bit like anxious about. It's like, okay, is your hair looking good? Is your makeup looking good? When you go in, ask all the girls, like, does your hair look okay? Does your makeup look okay before you walk the carpet? Like, make sure that you get loads of photos. Like, he is like, okay, you need to do this. Like, he is like, operation. Yeah, he's in like manager mode, basically. Dadager mode, anyway. But no, that is his job. I would much rather be told, oh, you just need to fix your hair, than me look ridiculous. So anyway, so there was that. So, you know, it's a high pressure thing. It's a big moment. It was a little bit stressful. And anyway, so I have these thermal tights. These are my go-to, love them, like, not an ad, just need to tell you about these, because if you're a girl and you wear a dress or a skirt and you want to wear a cute dress or skirt in the winter, get thermal tights. Literally just go online, search thermal tights. They look like you're wearing normal tights, like either skin coloured ones or like black tights that are quite sheer, but basically if you fold them on the other way, you can see they are like fluffy on the inside. They are insulated, fleece lined. Oh my goodness, I'm not gatekeeping. I need to tell you about this because they are revolutionary. So I was wearing those on my journey up to London, but I did swap into my normal like sheer skin coloured tights for the actual thing, because I'd say if you don't wear them with boots or it basically with heels, it wasn't cute. They would have been fine with like trainers or like if you had big socks or that kind of thing, but the way that they kind of like folded with my heels, I did look like I had cankles a little bit, or just like kind of puffy ankle. It wasn't a look, it was giving grandma. So I was like, okay, I need to take these tights off, put my other ones on. So when I went to the toilet as my like, okay, this is going to be my final wee basically before I walk the carpet, because getting in and out of that dress, it was a struggle. I needed help like tying up the back and things. So I thought, oh, it'll be fine. I will just lift my kind of skirt or dress up when I go to the toilet. Sorry, this might be a little bit TMI, but you know, that's how you go to the toilet as a girl when you have a dress on. I might have underestimated the size of my bum, because when I like tried the dress on, took it on and off before, it was a kind of like over the head kind of job. So how did I get it on? No, I kind of stepped into it and pulled it up. So pulling the skirt up, I hadn't actually done yet. So anyway, I pulled it up and I just heard this, and I was like, oh my goodness, I have just ripped my dress, and in 2 hours I am walking a red carpet in front of all of the press, basically in the whole of London, along with Ariana Grande, and my bum cheeks are going to be in the wind, on display. This is not going to be a good look. So when that panic went through my mind, I had 3 things that went through my mind. I went, okay, number 1, I might flash everybody. That's going to be bad. And then I was like, okay, no, calm down. You're going to be okay. Because number 2, I'm in London. I'm in the biggest city in the UK. If I need to buy a backup dress, I am in the right place. Like, this was in the Harrods toilets. Might not have bought a dress from Harrods because that would be pricey. But I was like, I'm in the right place if I, number 1, need to buy a new dress. Number 2, the other thought I had was, I have a coat with me. I can just put the coat on my shoulders. It's a long coat as well. It'll cover my behind. Don't have to worry about flashing anyone. That's option number 2. Because I did really like this dress. It took me so long to find it. I was like, I do really want to wear it, even if it's ripped up the back. Okay, number 3, I thought, maybe it's just ripped a little bit and I've just got a little bit of a bigger slit at the back, and you know what? I can pull it off. I can work it. It's a knee, like it goes below my knees. So, you know, anyway, I looked in the mirror. It was all good. My butt cheeks were not on display. Everything was fine. And it didn't actually look like, it looked like it just had like a bigger kind of gap on purpose. It didn't look like I was trying to, you know, be indecent. So anyway, all was well. I put my correct tights on, put my heels on, because you best believe I was not walking around central London and getting on the tube with heels on. So anyway, once I was all ready to go, fixed my hair, it was time to go to the event. Oh, before that also, I had my makeup done by my lovely makeup artist, Diego. Shout out to him. He has done all of my red carpet looks. So he is incredible. He is from Shortakai. So I was supposed to have my makeup done in Harrods. And then he was like, let's go to Space NK because they have more space there. It will be more of a chilled vibe, like Harrods at Christmas. It's going to be manic. It's going to be busy. So we went there and that was really lovely. So it was always nice, like kind of catching up with him, like hearing about what he's done since I last saw him, because I kind of see him like every few months, I guess. So it was really lovely catching up with him, and he did an incredible look on me. So a lot of the time I'm like, just go for it, do whatever. And this time I was like, you know what? It needs to be pink or green. Obviously pink dress, so let's go pink. I had a little look on Pinterest and I found this look, and it was kind of like a pink cut crease, and then on the inside it was like white kind of sparkly glitter, and that's what he went for, and it looked incredible. He pulled out the bag. I was like, I want it pink and glowy, something similar to this, but I trust you 100%. Go for it, Diego. And yeah, he slayed. He did such a good job. So, and also that makeup lasted like the whole night, because when I tell you, the night got more chaotic, if that's even possible. So anyway, makeup was done, dress was a little bit broken, but it was fine, nobody could tell. Hair was done, got in the taxi, got to the event. Now, when I tell you, the heavens opened, it rained, it poured, cats and dogs, everything. It was raining. So we arrived, got out of the taxi, and I was so glad that my dad was like, you need to bring an umbrella with you. And I was like, oh no, like I don't really want to carry it on the carpet, it's gonna be so annoying, like because when I went to the Crown premiere, I had my friend Lydia as a +1, so she very kindly like held my coat and things when I had photos, that kind of thing. And I was like, I'm going on my own, and everyone else there is like having their photos taken and going to be content creators. That like they're not going to want to hold my coat for me. So anyway, I was so glad that my dad was like, no, you need an umbrella, which actually I don't know if I kind of like almost dreamed this up or not, because I had a stress dream about this red carpet, or it was actually a green carpet, so that's quite cool. But anyway, I had a stress dream about this red carpet event a few nights before, and do you know what my stress dream was? My stress dream was that I had like really greasy hair for some reason. Like, you know, sometimes when you wash your hair and you don't like wash all the conditioner out, and sometimes it can just look a little bit greasy and dirty. I had a dream that for some reason my hair was like that, and I got to the carpet and it looked awful, and for some reason I went into a cafe and tried to wash my head in the sink. And anyway, the dream was a real horrible stress dream. And then for some reason on the carpet, like I had completely wet hair and looked awful. And they're like, no, you need to walk now. This is your only time. So anyway, I feel like I might have accidentally manifested the rain at that because for some reason, yeah, my stress dream was that I was going to have really wet hair for some reason for this premiere. So I was so glad that my dad was like, no, you need to get an umbrella. So I was like, to be fair, pink is my favourite colour and I will reuse it. I am one of those people, if you live in the UK, I have an umbrella everywhere. I have one in my car, I have one in my house, I have one in the office. Like, just because if it rains and your hair needs to look good, I mean, just if it rains in general, it rains a lot here in England, it's always good to have an umbrella with you. So my dad was like, and my dad actually hates umbrellas. Like, he always says there's this show that I don't know if it's on anymore, but back in the day, there was a show called Room 101, where basically celebrities would go on it and they would talk about things that they would want to put in this room and basically be banished forever. And one of his Room 101 things he said if he was ever on the show was umbrellas, because he always goes, they're stupid because whenever it's raining, it's probably windy and then they go inside out. You sometimes get more wet when you're holding one. And then you have to carry it and anyway, so for him to be like, no, you need an umbrella, I was like, okay, this guy is serious about me needing an umbrella. So I did order one, especially that was pink, that matched my dress, and when I tell you, that was the best decision ever, because I almost gave it to him. I was like, no, I don't need this, like it's only a short little walk. I was like, the weather isn't looking good, I will bring an umbrella with me. So we got out of our taxi. We had I was going to say an after party. It was a pre-event party, and that was with Meta and Instagram. So it was very cool at this nice bar. And again, everyone there looked incredible. Like, even like down, like all the drinks and things, they had like pink and green ones, and everyone was really lovely. It was also really nice because I'm very honoured to have been invited to quite a few different things with Meta recently. I actually knew quite a few people there, so it wasn't as daunting of going in not knowing anyone, and it was quite nice because a lot of people were kind of like dispersed. So I was like, oh, I know you, and then they had friends there and then they introduced their friends to me, so I actually got to know and chat to quite a lot of people, which was really lovely. Also, it was all the girls there. I'd say the meta girls, I don't know if it's just because the kind of meta group that I'm in the wellness category, so it's all of like the fitness and the foodies and the kind of art girls. So everyone in the wellness category, like a lot of their content is very like positive, uplifting, that kind of thing. And I'd say the wellness category content creators are so lovely. Everyone was so nice. All of the girls were like, oh, like, let me take your photo. And then I took their photo. And it was just a very lovely atmosphere. Everyone was so nice. But there we go. So we had a little drink nibbles. I also had like a little bit of dinner there. They had like kind of little bowls with little portions of different bits and bobs. So I was like, part of me was like, oh no, I'm going to mess up my makeup. Like, I don't really want to eat. And I was like, no, I will feel faint if I don't eat. Like, you need fuel, especially for the adrenaline rush of doing a red carpet. So I was like, okay, I'm going to eat my food. But basically, I must have looked absolutely ridiculous, because when I was trying to like shove these chips into my mouth, I had to open my mouth so wide so I wouldn't like wipe my makeup or my lipstick off. So anyway, had my little snack, was ready to go. And then, okay, this is also more chaos that happened. So one of my friends, Christina, she is so lovely, love her, but she is an extrovert, and that's great because she knows everybody. Like, she'll introduce me to everyone, really easy to chat to, such a lovely girl. But because she is an extrovert, she will bob around and she will just go and chat to everybody. So what happened was, her bag wasn't big enough to put in. So for these red carpets, you have to have a ticket, and you also have to have a wristband as well, because obviously with the wristbands, once they're on, they can't come off unless you cut them off. So you couldn't just like, give them or sell them to somebody else. And then you had your ticket as well. But because the ticket was quite big, it didn't fit in her cute little bag. So because I had my big old Fairfax and Favour clutch, I felt like I had like a Mary Poppins bag. I had everything in there. I had my polo, so if any of my friends wanted a mint, I was like, I've got some mints here, so I was quite popular with that. I also, I always like to bring painkillers or also like just emergency things. I'm like the walking pharmacy. I also come around with like plasters in case anyone has blisters. Like, I am like the mum of the group. Like, if you need something, I've probably got it. So I was there with my little clutch bag, which was also very useful because it has not to be like but also I'm sponsored by them, but it was actually so useful because it has a little clip on, so I could just hang it on my arm, because like little clutches are so cute, but it was just having it that I could hang on my arm, because a lot of the time I was like, had my phone taking photos, that kind of thing. So it was very useful. Oh yeah, holding my umbrella as well. But anyway, so Christina was like, can you look after this for me? I was like, yeah, sure, go for it. Go and chat to your friend. She's like, I'm just going to catch up with a friend. Okay. And then once we had all of our wristbands, that kind of thing, shouted over the crowd, okay, everybody. Also, there was quite a lot of people. It was like, okay, everyone who has got your ticket and got your wristband, you need to go. It's time to walk the carpet. So I go trundling out. I ended up chatting to some other people, catching up, walking out. And we're walking along as a big group. And I kind of look back and I'm like, where's Christina? Where has she gone? Where is she? And I just thought, oh, she'll be at the back of the group chatting to someone, that kind of thing. And then I realised we got split up. She got taken with the other group. Anyway, it was a little bit stressful. Managed to find her. She came back to our group, gave her wristband, that kind of thing. And yeah, when I tell you, this red carpet was the biggest red carpet I've done. It was definitely the busiest. So this is at the same place this is at the BFI, so that's the same place where the Crown premiere was. So I was kind of expecting it to be the same as that, but it was a very different vibe, let me tell you, because the Crown, it was very civilized. They had just like a white background which said like Netflix, the Crown, that kind of thing. You stood in like, honestly, like 12 different spots having your photo taken by professional photographers, and there weren't that many like content creators, influencers there. I would say it was mainly like actors of the show, people who maybe did like the music or that kind of stuff, were mainly people that I found or chatted to at that event. I wouldn't really say there were many like content creators or influencers there, but when I tell you Wicked, I think there were over 100 like content creators, and I think that was I'm pretty sure that was just for like Meta Instagram. Don't hold me to this, I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty sure that's what somebody told me. So that is wild when you think about it. So we were supposed to walk the carpet at like a specific time, but we ended up waiting for ages. For some reason, we weren't allowed through. I don't know if that's because of the rain, because it was like absolute torrential rain, and they were like, okay, we're all kind of standing under this bridge, and then maybe they were like, okay, hold off, wait a minute, we'll just wait for the rain to die down. And then the rain never really died down, so they were like, okay, like, clocks are ticking, we need to get these people through. Also, one thing that was wild, so we were all kind of like in this big group because we had this like before party with Meta. So when we were walking to the event, there were all these people that were on this bridge, like just trying to get a glance of all the celebrities. So we were walking by and everyone was filming us. So I was like, smile and wave, boys, smile and wave. Like, it is like a weird feeling when you're just walking along and there's like loads of people just like randomly filming you. Like, we weren't even in the event yet. Like, they could just tell that we were going to walk the carpet because we literally looked like we were straight out of the Capitol in the Hunger Games. Like, we were out here with, there was one girl in like a fully latex dress. There was one girl that like had like, her dress and everything, like all these feathers, they just like came out. So it was very cool. Like, everyone's outfits were incredible. Everyone slayed. But anyway, so it was time for us to go on in after waiting a little while, like, what's happening, that kind of thing. We got in and oh my gosh, I felt so bad for the fans because there were people there that, like, we drove past I don't know, like quite a while ago, like before I went to the party things, there were people standing out in the rain. I don't know how long people had waited to get tickets. Some people said that some people like camped out since Saturday and the event was on a Monday, and I was like, oh my goodness. But yeah, the fans, they were dedicated. There was one girl and she was in like the fan zone and she had like a full on like princess dress on, and I was like, oh my gosh, she must have been freezing. I don't know how long she'd been out there in the rain, but bless them. So anyway, it was really cool seeing everyone waving, walking up onto the carpet. And then, but the issue was, because we didn't walk the carpet at the time we had like our time allocated slot, it meant that everyone was on the carpet at once. So it was the busiest carpet I've ever been on. Normally before, it's like an orderly queue. As soon as you walk in, you go straight to have your photo taken, and then you're out. Boom, they shove you into a room, and that's where you mingle and wait for the thing to start. This was like it was just all of these content creators trying to get photos, and I'm pretty sure it was very like, okay, next one. Normally when you walk the carpet, like I've done so many of these, this is like my third or fourth, it depends if you count the Lockwood and Co one. That was my first one, because it was a red carpet and there was an official photographer, but you didn't walk the carpet before the event. It was like an inside kind of thing, or it was an inside carpet anyway. So normally you go in, there's normally like at least 3, like Bridgeton, there was like 3 or 4 official spots or selfie kind of spots where there were photographers taking your photo. Here, for content creators, there was literally one place where there was an official photographer. So all the other kind of spots, it was just trying to rush in, get the photo, your friend holding your iPhone, that kind of thing. So it was a lot, and also in the rain, and everyone had umbrellas as well. Or not everyone. Tell you what, having my umbrella meant I made a lot of friends, because I'd be walking along and I'd see somebody like trying to like hold their bag over their head so they didn't get wet, and I was like, do you want to come onto my umbrella? So I made a lot of friends that way, which was really lovely. So if you ever go to an event and you think it might rain, bring an umbrella, you'll make a lot of friends. Anyway, so that was nice. And oh my gosh, I haven't even told you the worst part. Well, not the worst part, but I was so my friends were taking a selfie, and as always, you know, when your friends take a selfie, jumped on in for the photo. They were like, come on in, Esme. So I quickly hopped in, like, while we were trying to get the background while it was free and there weren't loads of people standing there. Oh my gosh. So they had this little signpost, which was very cute, I must say. Like, the decorations, they went out there for this one. Like, it was the Emerald City, like the backgrounds, everything was lovely. It was just such a shame that it was raining. So anyway, when I jumped into this photo, they had a post that was like a directional signpost. Yeah, so one way it said like the Emerald City, one said like the Yellow Brick Lane, that kind of yellow brick road, sorry, that sort of thing. So when I jumped into this photo, I didn't realize this thing was sticking out. It scratched along my back, basically, and because I had a backless dress, it was on full view, especially as I had my hair kind of in like a side ponytail. So oh my gosh, after we had this photo, my friend Christina was like, Esme, your back is bleeding. And I was like, what do you mean my back is bleeding? I mean, I did feel the scratch, and I just thought, oh, it was a little scratch, I'll be fine. Anyway, my back was like, had blood dripping down. I was like, okay, this is not good. Luckily, it was fine. Like, to be fair, she was freaking out, and I was like, I'm a horse girl. I get scratched, I get bruised. Like, that was nothing. I was like, it's just a little scratch, it's fine. Like, it wasn't that bad. She was like, do we need to get you to a first aider? And I was like, it's fine. I've had all my jabs. I've had my tetanus. I've had my yellow fever. I was like, I don't think I'm going to get anything from a red carpet set. Like, I should be fine. It wasn't like I was like out in the mud, the wilderness, or a rusty spoon. I don't know. That's what you get tetanus from, rusty things. Anyway, so after that, we tried to hang around for a little while because we wanted to see, obviously, Ariana Grande walk down the carpet. And then they were like, no, she's not walking down this bit. She's got a secret little door. So unfortunately, I did not get to selfie with her. Very, very sad. But it was raining and everyone was like, the security were like, you need to get inside now. So we were like, okay, please don't throw us out. So we went in, and even inside, like, they had loads of selfie spots. They had a whole, like, all the costumes there, so that was really cool to see. I got to hold Glinda's wand, so that was super cute, especially as it went so well with my dress. And then we did lots of different like photo spots too. Basically I just made a lot of friends because I'd be like, hey, do you want me to take some photos of you? And then she or whoever it was would take photos of me as well. And also a lot of the times, if you want to make friends at these sort of events, because at a red carpet people are out there was this one guy that I met and he was fully green, like all of his makeup and everything was incredible. So I just came up to him and was like, your makeup looks insane, it looks so good. So we got chatting after that. And also, when you know like one or two people, they'll then introduce you to friends that they know. So anyway, after that it was like, okay, get lost, into the cinema you go. Went and sat down, met some new friends, chatted to them, and then it was time to watch the film. But first, obviously, all the celebrities came in, and at first I was like, oh, they didn't really do much of a chat. They were just like, and here we have Ariana, and here we have Cynthia, and that kind of thing. And normally at the other events that I've been to, they do like a little bit of a chat. But in all fairness, they have done so many tours. They have done so many press interviews. Like, and also they have been to so many different countries in such a short space of time. Like, these girls, they are booked and busy. I have so much admiration for them because I would be so tired, especially the jet lag as well, going from Australia to the USA to London. I'd be like, girl, oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean, they probably fly in very, very nice either private jets or at least first class where you can like sleep really well. So maybe traveling isn't exhausting as what I'm used to, but they all looked incredible, beautiful. And yeah, it was very surreal being like in a room with them and being quite close to them as well. So that was very cool. I saw like a few I did a few little celebrity spottings. There were a few celebrities that walked by and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm very close to them. That's wild. Tell you who I did see even. I saw Maisie Peters. If you didn't know, I saw her in concert at the O2 this year and she was my top Spotify artist of 2023. So when I saw her, I was like, oh my gosh, hello. Anyway, so that was quite cool. And yeah, watched the movie. The movie was incredible. I have seen Wicked at the West End. Me and my family, we used to go to London because we're not too far away from London. We would go whenever it would be Kids Week. So in the UK, I don't know if they still do this or not, but they used to do a thing called Kids Week where it'd normally be during like half term where you'd be on like school break, that kind of thing. And like train tickets for kids would be cheaper, eating out at restaurants would be cheaper, and West End tickets would also be cheaper, I'm pretty sure. So we would always go and like see like a West End kind of film, West End musical, there we go. We would always go and see a West End musical, and so I am very lucky that I have seen a few over the years. I think we stopped doing that when me and my brother became over 12, because I'm pretty sure that was the cut-off point, because I was like, how come we used to go and see musicals all the time and now we don't? And that's because you have to pay adult prices and they are very expensive. So my parents were like, let's make the most of Kids Week while we still can. So anyway, I remember going and seeing it with my mum and having the best like girly trip to London. Like, that is one thing that like when I have kids one day, like I am excited to do like stuff like that, because a little mummy-daughter date, that was so cute. Like, looking back, lovely memories. And I remember watching it in the West End and being like, wow, this is magical. But anyway, the film was so good. It was one of those films where you watch and I'm just like, oh my gosh, how long did this take to film? Like, it was so high budget. All of the choreography, the dancing, the singing, incredible. You know, some kind of films that have singing in, you can kind of tell that the actors have been chosen because they're good at acting and not because they're good at singing, and they add a little bit of autotune. Oh no. With Wicked, they could sing. Like, I mean, come on, it's Ariana Grande, but still, like, the singing, the dancing, the choreography, so good. And yeah, just I can't wait for the next one because it was only part 1. I need a part 2. Come on, guys, chip chop, get on with it. I want to see the second one now. So obviously got to wait a long time, it takes a long time to do stuff like that. So, I mean, I know how long it takes to film and edit a YouTube video, let alone a full-on movie with singing and dancing and choreography and the set design and all the post-production editing. So there's probably quite a lot of like computer-generated stuff in there as well. Like, I don't even want to think about that. Anyway, so yeah, that was the Wicked premiere. Chaotic, wonderful, incredible. I mean, it was one of the biggest premieres of the year, so no wonder it was very, very busy and chaotic, but it was so good. So yeah, thank you so much to Wicked, Universal, Meta, Instagram for very kindly inviting me, yeah, that's English, inviting me. I had a bit of a late night last night. Got back quite late because obviously the movie it's quite a long movie. It's just under 3 hours, I think. So I was very glad that I had my pre-wee before coming in, because I was like, that is long. Also, we did get like popcorn and drinks and stuff, so that was very cute. But yeah, would recommend going and seeing, especially this time of year. Like, it's a little bit festive, magical, Christmassy. Well, not Christmassy, but it's magical, and I feel like magical makes me think of Christmas, you know, a little bit of sparkle, a little bit of glitter. But on that note, I think we'll probably finish off today's podcast here, because I have literally, I don't even know how I've managed to ramble for so long about one premiere, but it was eventful. A lot happened, from my dress ripping to the rain to the umbrellas. I'm pretty sure I accidentally took one person out with my umbrella, and I felt so bad, and she gave me an absolute death stare. I mean, I would give someone a death stare if they took me out with an umbrella and got me absolutely soaked, but it wasn't my fault. It was an accident, and I am clumsy, and sometimes the dyspraxia, my limbs just fly all over the place. I'm that sort of person. Anyway, before we finish, this is your last moment, last time, last chance to go and download the Red Post app for Black Friday. Thank you so much to Red Post for sponsoring the podcast. I don't know if I should say this or not, but I've been invited to the Spotify headquarters next week. So that's so exciting. So you best believe next week's episode, I can give you the download on that. But yeah, thank you for Red Post for sponsoring, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Bye.